All right. So, kids didn't know that Paramount and Skydance merger was completed in 2 weeks, August 7th. It was confirmed on Hollywood Reporter. And we want to know that the Paramount co-CEOs were eventually gone left, including Chris McCarthy, George Cleese, and Brian Robbins. Now, Chris McCarthy already left at Paramount, and George Cleese will remain on CBS, and Brian Robinson might depart soon. So, as we know that he thinks this cup staff of as a company prepare of the new era on the Skydance. So, and in the statement that the after the SEC approval of Paramount Skydance merger, that in the statement that in the wake of the after a lot of layoffs, there was a canceled shows like the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and especially the $60 million settlement with Donald Trump with over the lawsuit he brought it over 60 minutes. So here's a memo about what's happening in the future of Paramount under Skydance. Hi everyone. Okay, he said this. Hi everyone, we have some important news to share related to our Skydance merger. We received the final regulatory approval and we appreciate the Skydance merger will close or will be complete on August 7th, subject to customary closing conditions. This is the Seminical milestone for our entire global organized, and we realize to have many questions about the transition process, and we provide updates as soon as the information will become available to us. Clarity, we have been the industry for decades, and you, we have called Paramount our home, and together we have seen the incredible elevation of the entertainment industry. For all the phase changes, Paramount has made a great process, not a great and then over for the past year. We truly have a mentor as a company, and that's a testament to you and the talented teams for all the incredible ability of the deliver hit shows and blockbuster films, and all the critical piece that make those things happen behind the scenes, and from ELA, finance, HR, communications, marketing, technology, distribution, partnership, sales, consumer products, government, and government relation, and more. Even the context of the rapidly involved landscape. As we near the end of the historic chapter for Paramount and the prepare of the new era, we want to thank you for the resilience, creativity, and dedication. Because of you, Paramount is a so much better place now than it was a year ago. It was been an honor of the lead the company over the past year to work alongside you. Best, George Christian Ryan. Now, I don't know what to say this. I boycott Paramount Skydance few years ago, ever since my show was going broader, they cancel a lot of shows, like the Tiny Chef show, Blue's Clues and You, and of course the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. But and especially they almost but they also get almost get canceled South Park, but but they changed a lot mind. We got it. The South Park creators signed an overhaul deal with Paramount Global in the middle of Skydance merger, as well as a streaming deal with Paramount Plus, since uh, all seasons of South Park was removed on Paramount Plus worldwide, but he restored because but he reinstate of that show South Park, all seasons of South Park on Paramount Plus remain. So that's not very happy, and I know that the historic era of Paramount is ended over the years. Now, I boycott Paramount Skydance a lot, and even I know these people. David Ellison was a Trump supporter, and I don't care. I don't trust this company, and where we need as we need the end of the third chapter of Paramount. Yes, it was because Paramount is no longer at the cells. It is now under the David Ellison side. And much like Warner Bros. This company, they're like what they did with especially David's stuff. No one believed that the Paramount decided to scrap all of its shenanigans in favor of a new era. Like I said, David Ellison was a Trump supporter, and like, dude, Skydance before that was work with Paramount, like did with Mission Impossible, Terminator, GI Joe, um, and a lot of others. And heck, even the animation division led by, for God's sake, David Lasseter, who worked the Pixar, but now a lot of accused problems, and then now lead working for Skydance. I don't care, and I don't trust this company. And like I look, they recent films like. Luck with Apple TV Plus then doing so well, and Spellbound movie with God for help us, Wasted Sigler was produced on Netflix, and I didn't like it. I mean, look, if this movie is pretty much if Skydance was going downhill all because of legal problems, the cancellations, like the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, like the Late Show was on going downhill. 2 years ago, the Late Late Show with James Corden was canceled, and now here we are. There's another Late Show on CBS going to cancel too. That made no sense. So to prove it itself, here is another article for overall variety and the what's happening on David Ellison's getting on the Skydance decoration. Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Taylor Sheldon, and more. All the IP David Ellison's Skydance getting Paramount decoration. And now that David Ellison's Skydance has secured the keys to Paramount Global, what toys are him inside the company in the terrestrial property chest at the nail-biting further approval process that inspired Backlash, Ellison and team that have not only secured the legacy distributor but the control of the content of the variable stations of a production and development. As a new Paramount Skydance and Paramount team prepared to set leadership, Paramount co-CEO Chris McCarthy is already out. Paramount Pictures CEO Brian Robinson is expected to depart immediately, and CBS honcho Jones Cleeks is the only leader back to stay in the new team. Here's why they were going on board. There's the film division. Paramount and Robbins became the president of the CEO of Paramount Pictures in 2021, following the 14-year lead of the fervent movie executive Jim Kinokabodis. He's also, before that, he's working at 20th Century Fox before Disney bought the company, later renamed it 20th Century Studios, and he opted along with Emma Watts, but now he worked at Paramount, but it didn't last long. Emma Watts left, and so this Jim Kinokabodis. A teen star who become the powerful family contact center at Nickelodeon, had boosted volume of the original film production and operations at Paramount, a studio that had become known over the past 2 decades for minimal output compared to the rivals. The fruit of Tim Robbins will continue the massive manifest of the busy fourth quarter. Liam Neeson's and Pamela Anderson's The Naked Gun reboot, written and directed by the Lonely Island master by Akira Schaffer and also produced by the Family Guy mastermind Seth MacFarlane, who worked with Liam Neeson between one episode of Family Guy and Tier 2 movies, the Western comedy, the many ways to Western, like in West, I don't know what the movie is, and the Ted in cameo role in Ted 2. Um, hit the theaters next week. In October, director Dick France will amount of his crime dramedy Wolfman, starring Channing Tatum and Kristen Dunst. And yes, this is co-produced with Miramax and Finnish Entertainment, fresh out of Oscar-winning Best Picture-winning Orona over in Neon and Universal Focus features in overseas, followed by the Colleen Hoover book adaptation Regarding You with Alison Williams and Dave Franco. Alison Williams, of course, who's known from horror films like Get Out and Megan. That sequel didn't do so well, but hey, first ones did better. And also that Colleen Hall book, this is the second adaptation book second book movie adaptation of Colleen Hall's book after it enter was because the drama between the Blake Lively and Justin Bononi over the production drama or problems like that. So I'm not going to details of that, but he got already won. But who cares? My show, my rules. I stand with Blake Lively, by the way. In November, we see the release of the franchise hopeful starring the honorable Golden Boy, Glenn Barr, the Running Man, directed by Edgar Wright, of course. And the studio will close out the year with the SpongeBob movie, The Search of the Squarepants, to the hit of the family having Christmas holiday window. Now, I don't know what to say. These movies, Naked Gun Reboot, Roofman, Regretting You, and Edgar Wright's The Running Man, and SpongeBob movie, The Search of the Squarepants, I cannot go to see these movies. I boycott Paramount Skydance. What it did with Warner Bros. This company 2 years earlier. Like uh, between 2023 and 2024, there's a lot of box office flops, and there's got the Dead Universe DCEU. We got Shazam: Fury of Gods, um, The Flash, Blue Beetle, and Aquaman: The Lost of Atlantis, all the box office flops. And with only big hit over Warner Brothers Internet was the Greta Gerwig Bobby movie. That's a lot of money. And the next year, the 2024 was got box office flops between the movie Furiosa, a Mad Max story, and Joker Fudda Do. Joker 2, whatever they call this, but it all both are box office flops. The only true hits like um, Twisters, another film stars Gwen Power, and also starred as support act as David Coulter before Superman came along, and then and the Beetlejuice sequel, Beetlejuice, stars those who sequel was it stars alongside because of the Jenny Ortega stardom, who Tim Burton worked for her in the Wednesday series, my dudes, over Netflix. So that's good, but 2025 it did well. Warner Brothers on re-instruction, but did not. Paramount, same thing with Paramount. I mean, these movies like the Naked Gun reboot, Roofman, Regretting You, and Edgar Wright's The Running Man, and the SpongeBob movies, The Search of the Squarepants, are going to be box office flops like they would Warner Bros. Back in 2013, 2014. So I'm not going to see these movies. If I boycott Paramount Skydance all along because of few reasons like the Cancel Delay Show, the lawsuit settlement with Donald Trump, and now a lot of problems, tensions because David Ellison was a Trump supporter. So I don't know to say. I don't trust these companies, and even its Paramount Pictures label. In fact, speaking of the Warner Brothers that have a film slate between 2014 and 2020, you haven't signed the co-finance deal with Domain Entertainment. It was an entertainment division of Domain Capital, but between the pretty much the same thing with just last a few months ago, they already signed the co-financing deal. We already success with Rocky Man, Gladiator 2, and Sonic the Hedgehog 3. But the true beginning include the first film under the partner with co-finance with Paramount was Domain Entertainment was Nova King stars Jack Quaid. It was a freaking awesome film. I recommend to check this out. Yeah, I think 2025 belonged to Jack Quaid. They got Nova King, Combarian from United Cinema over Warner Brothers, and hey, even Heads of State movie was one of the best movies of that year over on Prime Video from Amazon and GM. And he had the spoiler act, but I love this movie. Heaven States is much better than any other movies of that streaming era. Yes, including Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon movies that nobody wants to see it because, yeah, Peter Safran is a better producer than Zack and Deborah Snyder. I love Peter Safran. In Peter Safran Trust. Go see Head of States movie on Prime Video. It's got John Cena, Imprezara, Prashika Chopra, of course. But yeah, hey, but the Jack Ray was a scene stealer performance. Yes, along with Cobain and Nova King had a leader role, but this had a supporting role. Go see Head of States movie. It's better than Hack Snyder's Rebel Crap movies over on Netflix. Hashtag Head to States. But back to what you say. But yeah, anyway, the handling of co-finance with Domain Entertainment, the cover films like the Nova King and later the god awful Smurfs anime movie, because I know I upload the only good thing I'm upload the movie I got a new Paramount animation logo was gone remanned with after their because the Paramount executives like including Ryan Roberts are not happy to include the Star Skipper mascot. So I think that they removed for obvious reasons. That keep in the beginning like 2012 Paramount Pictures logo and press into the current Paramount animation logo without like say like in the like it did with the Paramount Players logo. So it's separate. Like there's the beginning have 2012 current Paramount Pictures logo interesting into the Paramount animation logo that the Scott Skipper was got a mascot, but they removed for obvious reasons because Paramount is excited, including Brian Robinson, not happy and did like this mascot to that. So still, I know the co-finance with Domain Entertainment was related to Warner between like Warner Brothers and Paramount Pictures. Like these two films they have co-finance. Like TSG Entertainment had 20th Century Fox and occasionally of no, sorry, 20th Century Studios and occasionally Disney Motion Pictures label and as well as and Sony Pictures and um, and especially Media Capital Technologies to have a deal with Lionsgate, but all the box office flopped last year's. But in its preliminary research and all thanks to Danish cheese too. So I bet the co-finance films companies that make no sense, and even the between the Domain Entertainment and um, TSG Entertainment, and might be to do another co-finance company or maybe Black Bear or even THG or even Domain Entertainment made another co-finance deal with Universal Pictures. Yeah, I mean, the perfect World Pictures that had the Chinese film company was already co-financing stuff films from between Universal and Focus Features in the short period between 2016 and 2022. The last film was an old man, but it was a box office flop, become a cult classic. So of sex on the streaming service and the video on demand service. So anyway, but still, I know I boycott these movies. Like that did with Warner Bros. Discovery between 2 years ago. Like these movies, Thinking Gun reboot, Roofman, Regretting You, Edgar Wright's The Running Man, and SpongeBob movie serves in the square bands on go be a box office flops immediately because I boycott Paramount Skydance. So let's continue on in the future slate. There's more to deck up from 2026, including Screen 7, the higher appreciated return of the slasher canon produced with Skyglass Media Group. Yes, I like I said, I boycott Melissa since Melissa Babylon was fired with the cast because he had to support Palestinian um, Gaza war supporter. Like this made no sense. Like the real shift made a couple of videos about the boycott Skyglass Media Group, and especially Mr. Cobb made a history video about that company Lincoln situation. In February, the Richard Slint of the untitled feature from Trey Parker and Matt Stone, creators of South Park, rapper Kendrick Lamar, the rapper who beefed with Drake at the time, and Dave Free also will have the production company as PMBG, whatever the name is, from March, and the revival of the surprising sticking spoof series Scary Movies for June was in Damien Wayne's return for the roots with Miramax, of course, co-produced with, like I said, this is co-produced with Miramax, and the new feature with Robbins, the Pride and Joy Pablo Toro franchise for July. This is going to be industry. As still insiders of the inspecting and press of performance of the Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, a live-action and the animated actor featuring the voice of Dave Bautista and Stevie Young, and equally excited of the new films based on Sonic the Hedgehog, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Angry Birds mobile game, and another. And I'm going to take a moment to the two franchise. Now, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is on the way, new movie, because including the one move R-rated adaptation movie about the Last Ronin, was produced by former DC Studios houseman Honcho Wata Hamada. Yes, the guy who infamously abused Ray Fisher doing the production of the Justice League. So everyone's hated, and he's gone. And now I work at Paramount at a horror deal at the production company. So I know that movie's gonna be suck. Even Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles horror movie, R-rated horror movie is gonna be suck. So yeah, again, boycott Paramount Skydance. And the Angry Birds movie, yeah, Paramount acquired movie and TV rights. I think movie rights of the Angry Birds movie franchise from Sony Pictures because he had it expired, and then and the lost the because Sony Pictures Animation lost the rights, but eventually it bought Paramount pick up the franchise rights of Angry Birds because mobile game because since the parent Rovio, the parent company of Angry Birds, is just purchased by Sega in 3 years ago. So that's pretty nice. And another sequel with Meet the Parents Universe with Ben Stiller and Ariana Grande, co-distribute Universal. And let me just say, because Universal accepted loved the performance, Ariana Grande performance as Glinda in the Wicked movies, the first one and the second part for good will come out in a few months because I know that Universal accepted like, hey, I want to cast in the funny Meet the Parents franchise, and then Grande's response, sure. So, and that's why Universal and co-produced with Paramount on board to the sign role with Ben Stiller and Robert De Niro. But and also that noteworthy that Superman, Jimmy Olsen himself, Skylar Gleason will join the join the cast in the Meet the Parents movie along with of course, the Ariana Grande because he playing as a Ben Stiller's son. Seriously, I know that John Holmberg will on board to direct and read the script soon. It will come out next year, the year after The Wicked for Good releases. That's the same month, November that year. So, but still, I am excited for the new Meet the Parents movie. But I hope that and also Skyler Griswold was also on board to do start in the Jimmy Olsen's HBO Max series for DC Studios. So I hope it didn't get killed off like they with BVS. So suck it, Zack Snyder. Oh, I should say Hack Snyder. Anyway, still, I probably know I know to see it, but only problem boycott Paramount Skydance. And up top in 2027, Paramount will award the awards with the Children's and Blood and Born, the Gina Prince Brotherhood fantasy epic with featuring Cindy Arreo, Idris Elba, and Rolla Davis. Paramount is an early delivered for two and the most lucrative as film franchise in the words of Transformers and Star Trek. It's unclear if Mission Impossible is on deck for a reboot now. And Mission Transformers movie was pretty much on look at the decline after the even that probably got the model success. Like Bumblebee was good, and Transformers One was great masterpiece animation classic, but the Rise and Beast does not so much. It was underperformed because of Paramount standards. But I heard a rumor that Michael Bay was returning to the delivery of the new Transformers movie, but not sure that Michael Bay will remain in the executive producers between that Bumblebee, Transformers, Rise and Beast, and the Transformers one was pretty much part under the production company Bay Films or Bayhem Films. But and I'm sorry to see as the director, you wouldn't every time I see comments say, "Oh, hashtag restore the Bayverse." Bayverse is dead. And you must be a Snyder cultist. Snyderverse is dead, so Snyderverse is already dead. Move on. This is my channel, and I don't know that Michael Bay is better than that new Transformers movie unrelated with the Michael Bay's Transformers universe. So touch your grass, but still. And Star Trek, yeah, he has gone on limbo. Even criticized, might be right and direct of the Star Trek movie, but it never happened. But it might be going to be a 10 and final film, but unfortunately, too busy to make a probable 10 and final film. So, and a Mission Impossible, yeah, and not so much. That it was a dead franchise. Tom Cruise has moved on to do agreement with Warner Brothers, and especially also working with Doug Lyman again, with and on the one further film, Deber with Ananda Matas, but originally Warner Brothers is said to distribute, but he dropped out, but eventually, but then other companies like Paramount and Universal, but I think Universal should be better than as a distribution. But yeah, we see what happens. But still, like I said, these movies in between 2025 and 2026 are going to be a box office flop. So I boycott Paramount Skydance a lot because there's a um, because I like they with Warner Bros. Discovery, they cancel a lot of shows and then like a lot of content and between and the same goes with Paramount Skydance. Like did they cancel the Late Show because of late night TV program is gone declining. But this, I boycott these movies like the Naked Gun reboot and the Running Man Edgar Wright's movie and SpongeBob movie, The Search of the Square Bands, are going to be box office flops. And it, also in 2026, Screen 7 was going to be a flop because of Marissa Barrera supports its Palestinian rights or something, war rather. And Scary Movie was, and of course the Meat and then the Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender was also going to be a flop, but the new Meet the Parents movie is going to be good in because of the Ariana Grande fan base, who's pretty much impressed at the scene like as a performance in Glinda in Wicked movie. So we'll see what happens. But still, I don't trust Paramount's kind of even the film division. But you know what? It's want to know that the film division of Paramount's going to be declining what they with Warner Brothers did with 2023 and 2024. So we'll see what happens. On the television side, Edison has previously said that high on his list for the merge Skydance and Paramount was a tech revolution inside the company, including the streaming operations, interface, and the content model that Paramount Global hit shows to the split wild cross vertical like Linden networks and streaming, breaking down by brand. CBS, of course, the Stalwart Network, yeah, that's supposedly a new slogan. Not the, I mean, the real slogan is "This is CBS," not CBS, the Stalwart Network. What the hell? Anyway, I like the rod on the Skydance Paramount deal for several reasons. Has a pretty going for it, despite the overall decline of the linear TV viewership, including they canceled the late show with Stephen Colbert. Faction shows with disciplines like NCIS and FBI are still responding across the country. Comedies like Ghost and the Joys of Many First Marriage are the two of the most watched comedies out there. Eat that, young Sheldon. That's a James Corden said it. While the drama tracker was the most watched in shows period, and especially released on Disney Plus in overseas, was on streaming service. Reality competitions like Survivor, Big Brother, and Amazing Race also still draw large audience, even there's far into the respective runs. And no mention that Late Show with Stephen Colbert is still airing until May next year because they already canceled because of lawsuit settlement and financial decision between Paramount's kind of merger. So yeah, again, I don't know trust. CBS is on decline because of that due to the Day Show cancellation debacle. So yeah, over the Paramount Plus, it might be as well as in its Taylor Sheridan Plus at this point. Well, seriously, this is going to be a this is my new slogan: Paramount Plus, a home of Taylor Sheridan universe. That makes no sense. And a prolific career of overseas shows like Landman, Lioness, The Tulsa King, and the Mayor of Kingstown, and a streamer on with under the expanded deal with Paramount Global. A Yellowstone prequel, the 1944, is in the works, formerly 1883 and 1923, as well the new spin-off of a Yellowstone starring Cole Hauser and Kelly Riley as Rip and Biff, and the spin-off of Tulsa King starring Samuel Jackson known as Noel King. So that's good. Star Trek has a streamer as a as it has a business as a streamer along with the shows like Strange New Worlds and the forthcoming Starfleet Academy. Strange New Worlds is currently airing of the first season and has been renewed for the fifth and final season. Starfleet Academy has renewed for the season two. Whether or not the Star Trek TV universe will continue in this current in addition beyond, there's two shows remaining seen. Nickelodeon, yeah, I think Paramount Plus has the streaming platform is becoming known as the Taylor Sheridan universe. Ever since Yellowstone, Wisconsin Sex between on Paramount Plus and now almost Nazis Paramount Network, that's pretty much become the well-known status. Like, I mean, another thing the show is called Modland, with Guy Ritchie created with um, Tom Hardy, Chris Bosman, and Harry Merritt. So it also appeared. Both will also appear in the Thursday at the Thursday Murder Club over on Netflix, and along with Ben Kingsley and a lot of other and as well as Richie E. Grant. This is a great series, and even Chris Colombo's directing. So who also produced Robert Eggers' films. So this could be an interesting one. So yeah, I think that the Terror Syrian universe on Paramount Plus that were late had to do with an overhaul deal, but it still works. But I will we see what happens. Modland, go see Modland on Paramount Plus. And all Sky Showtime in overseas. It's a really good show. Over Nickelodeon, the Disney unit is pretty similar to with the film studio when it comes to the multi-quadrant offering, including SpongeBob SquarePants and animated Avatar content. Like Nickelodeon is becoming in decline, and I know that every year on Kid Choice Awards that the favorite cartoon was SpongeBob SquarePants. Are you serious? This didn't happen. This needs to stop. It's getting old. The running gag didn't like. Don't vote Spot next year. Please don't vote SpongeBob SquarePants on next year's Kid Choice Awards. Okay, and this getting old now. And while I have it, please get SpongeBob SquarePants into the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That's what Baby Les said. Barry White Creation said. So others. Showtime. Oh, now into the show. Next up is Showtime. Once the hotbed of British dramas, Showtime is down world-like offshoots of Dexter's and prequel Dexter's Original Sin and the sequel Dexter's Resurrection. And yeah, Dexter's Resurrection was came out released the same day as the James Gunn Superman movie in theaters. There are a lot of cast including Peter Dinklage and sorry, and Uma Thurman. Um, it's pretty shame that Uma Thurman's acting career was resurgence after seen in the Old Globe 2, Old Guard, Old God 2, has a support as a villain role. So yeah, nice to see an acting role again. Maybe they cast her in the Quentin Tarantino's 10 and final film someday. Who knows? But still, I'm really seeing Texas Resurrection was a great sequel series in a vein like at the or Daredevil um, Born Again series over on Disney Plus. So I recommend to check it out. And yeah, between Daredevil Born Again and this series, it's going to be becoming a new legacy series that I want to do. So go see Dexter's Resurrection. I hope Anthony. In fact, Anthony Chabot, my friend Anthony Chabot saw this series, so go check it out on Paramount Plus and on Sky Showtime and overseas. And Comedy Central, on the hand, was Starbucks was so valuable that Paramount Global broke through the reported swamp and conditioned on hospitality to secure another deal for the creators, ruled the boost. There also the Daily Show and revival of Mike Judge, Beavis are Butthead, which is moving to Comedy Center for the first season starting in September. And then I got two things. One, yeah, the season 27 premiere of South Park got a lot of controversy and innovate that Donald Trump and more specifically the White House crew hates it. Really hates that the mocking and Trump like terrorist affair animation all style that make me delusional. Like, yeah, this is the main like boycott Skydance movement. Like they can't, like I said it many times, they canceled the late show because of financial decision and $6 million lawsuit settlement. That like, yeah, this is might be the dumbest decision. Like, oh really? This is stupid. Like, what the heck? Trump, you are a delusional. You are the most hated president for the second term. Like, he's because of Trump tariffs and hanging with Elon Musk. That made no sense. Shame on you and Donald Trump. And of course, the second thing is the Beavis and Butthead revival over now on the Comedy Central. The originally was streaming on Paramount Plus, but after a ton of feedback, in eventually we're airing on. Eventually moved to on the linear TV station Comedy Central. Um, since what did with the NTV in the 90s, because a lot of controversy said fire, fire, like fire innocent. So that's a controversial. But please don't screw this up. Don't say fire ever again, my judge. So that's what's happening in the Paramount and Skydance merger after what's happening. Now let's get to say this. Let's get the biggest elephant in the room. You know, after Paramount and Skydance merger was completed, this is a happening to do a downhill, like what they would Warner Bros. Discovery. Now, David Zaslav in charge, like he canceled a lot of movies like Bad Girl, Cody versus Acme, and Scoop Hillary Hunt, and then another Looney Tunes movies. But two of which was eventually two movies of related to Looney Tunes. The Day the Earth Stood, a Looney Tunes movie, and Cody versus Acme was sold to Catch Up Entertainment. And that pretty much the box office flops between 2023 and 2024, with some few exceptions like Bobby, Twisters, and Pikachu sequel. But this Paramount Skydance on the hand was going to be a downhill too, because as a David Ellison in charge, the founding member of Skydance Media, I think this is going to be coming downhill because these movies, like for example, the Naked Gun reboot with Liam Neeson and Paramount Allison, that the Seth MacFarlane creator of Family Guy was involved, and then later the Edgar Wright's The Running Man with Grant Bauer, and the SpongeBob movie, The Search of Squarebanks, all going to be box office flops. Yeah, that's right. What did what Warner Brothers did with 2023 and 2024? But some few modest hits, including Roofman and Regret knew was going to be box office to six. But the next year, Screen 7 also going to be box office flop. There's an untitled feature from South Park creators and Kendrick Lamar was going to be okay. Scary Movie was going to be okay too. But another Product Patrol movie was going to be flopped. Legend of Aang that last and better. It's gonna be flopped. Angry Birds movie, okay. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie is gonna be R rated with Walter Hamada producing. That's gonna be the last one. Also gonna be flopped because what did with Walter Hamada did with DC's films over there, the box office flops like Shazam and all that stuff. And of course, and the new Meet the Parents movie, it's gonna be okay in the box office. And Children's of Bloodborne was gonna be a flop or box office of six. We got an award season, so yeah, this I know that. Yes, this is why Paramount Skydance merger is because the film division of Paramount is going to be a downhill slider, going to be a flop, or going to be a minus to six. It's going to be like they were Warner Bros. Pictures under the Warner Bros. Discovery leadership. So Yeah, that's what I know. I don't trust these companies, Paramount and Skydance, because David Ellison is a most hated, become the most hated media executive, like they were David Zaslav. Two different Davids. And anyway, like they cancel a lot of shows, like the Tiny Chef show, Bruce Goes to You, and of course the Late Show with Stephen Colbert. It also got canceled. South Park with the reverse corner because reverse types thing, reverse chords because he had to sign the overhaul deal with Paramount Global and as well as the streaming deal with Paramount Plus because originally Paramount all seasons of South Park was removed on Paramount Plus worldwide, but eventually reinstated because why not? He got to sign a 5-year deal, streaming deal, whatever something. But yeah, that's why I know. And of course, the lost $60 million lawsuit settlement with Donald Trump and Paramount Global, and more specifically CBS News, related to the 60 Minutes interview with Kamala Harris. So I don't trust Paramount and Skydance a lot. I boycott these companies, and I boycott Paramount a lot. I mean, the last Mission Impossible movie, oh, the didn't break even at $5 million. It flopped. It was nobody. I mean that the final Mission Impossible movie was pretty much the final farewell from Tom Cruise over having to deal with Warner Brothers at the time. But unfortunately, that the one film called Bieber with Doug Liman directing, along with Anna de Armas starring, like I said, was meant to not drop. Warner Brothers not going to distribute, and rather than different companies like Paramount or even Universal. But we're gonna see what happens. But but still, I'm gonna say to everyone watching this video, especially David Ellison, I have to say, I'm sorry. I don't trust Paramount and Skydance for now. It's become the new Warner Bros. Discovery all over again. And you might be, and they honestly might be become the new David Zaslav. And I agree. He found a member of Skydance. He did a lot of franchise like Transformers, Mission Impossible, Terminator, G.I. Joe, a lot of others. But but unfortunately, Edison completely ruined the company because they canceled the late show and lawsuit settlement and all that stuff. But it's time to change. We still boycott Paramount Skydance movement after the merger was completed in August 7th, which is in 2 weeks. So please boycott Paramount and Skydance together because we need to say I'm I'm an Amazon NGM Studios and Universal NBC Universal guy myself. Two companies I fell love. Amazon NGM Studios is the most the resurgent company in the world. Now it become the most popular entertainment company in the world was the entertainment division of Amazon. Now, since NGM has a struggle for the past few decades, but then Amazon bought the company and known as Amazon NGM Studios. So the legacy will remain and remain company through this day as it will become become the resurgence because Amazon what did it that because since Amazon NGM will filed the bankruptcy in 2010, but now the resurgence and become the most profitable year of that decade of the entertainment industry. So, but see what happened. But NBC Universal Pictures, on the hand, was pretty much become a resurgence because for the past 2 years that the two films were become successful between 2023 and 2024. Oppenheimer and the first Wicked movie. Oppenheimer was the first Christopher Nolan's first film with Universal after falling out with Warner Brothers due to Tenet debacle. So it's been Universal gained control to do sign the overhaul deal. I'm not sure of that project over for Universal with Christopher Nolan. So it's pretty much the first film was the Oppenheimer, and it released the same day as a Barbie movie over Warner Brothers. So this is known as the Barbenheimer phenomenon. So I don't know if this is going to become the true beginning of the new Universal era. So and the second film on the next year was Wicked. The musical movie adaptation of the Wicked musical was found more successful. It stars Ariana Grande as Glinda and Sindra Herrero as Ibria. It was directed by John M. Chu. So this is a little more comeback. This is a new beginning of the movie musical adaptations. What did we Bruno the Rhapsody in 2018 with a new era of the musical biopics? But this thing because everyone fell in love with music a lot. There's a past and new music was pouring begun. The acting careers, musical acting careers, like the was eventually like before that there's and Jennifer Lopez, who probably began the acting career as Selena. Not it was a biopic of the Mexican singer Selena, who was gone to sex in the 90s, but tragic death in 1995, 1990. But and then also annoying that the other hold on a second. Rapper Eminem, who did one film when as a lead role at Imran was freaking awesome film back in 2002, and he got won the Oscar for best original song for Lose Yourself. But he also 50 Cent would become the acting career. We haven't as of get rich and right dying, but later he began the low profile acting career and also the career of the of the Power Book on Star. So great show, and in fact Anthony Shobo was a big fan of the Power series. So good for him. And now, and of course, the recently they in God for help us. The Weekend has a terrible acting career. Yeah, sure, you got to support act in the Uncut Gems, only good film that he been. But the last two films, not so much. Like the Last Blue Project, The Idol, the HBO series that nobody went, got a lot of controversy, and nobody went, and it was canceled. And the Hurry Up Tomorrow was based on the album of the same name, was a concept album, like did between film and music, between album and then the feature length film. It stars alongside Jenny Ortega, but not so much. The acting was terrible, and nobody went to see it. It flopped because Lionsgate lost a ton of money. Thanks, and because I blame Lionsgate for releasing that last year's films that box office flops like Borderlands and Crow remake, and especially Francis Ford Coppola Megapolis. It made no sense. This is why. But still, the acting and even Charlie XCX would begin the acting career due to this after like say after like say he was a wants to be um was a Pratt star, like his album Pratt summer this he's gone to SEC last year, but he eventually the acting career like the over popularity was a great. It's on Amazon Prime Video series was pretty produced with A24 was highly recommended. And now and that's why the pop stars when we enter the acting career. Ariana Grande was becoming the superstar, all thanks of as Glinda from a Wicked movie. And this is based off like a prequel of the Wizard of Oz. Now Warner Brothers didn't involve other production like for obvious reasons that he had any permission to use the characters on behalf of Warner Brothers, but even the owner of the original 1938 to 39, whatever the name it, whatever year it is, of Wizard of Oz movie was originally from NGM, but then Turner bought the company, bought the NGM, but then it got dead and sold back copy, uh, sold back to the copy, keep it a library, but then it then merged with the Time Warner in 1996, and rest in history. So yeah, I think that's when we could give permission not to the characters, but on behalf of Warner Brothers, and especially the film executive Michael DeLuca and Penn Abbey. So props to him. But still, there's the two companies that I will remember: Universal and Amazon MGM. Well, these companies did not. I dislike Paramount, Skydance, and Warner Bros. Discovery are the two dislike companies I didn't like. I boycott Warner Bros. Discovery because of David Zaslav leadership, and now we boycott. I boycott Paramount and Skydance because of the David Ellison leadership. Because the difference between Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Skydance It's the two different Davids. Yeah, David Zaslav and David Ellison. I don't trust these people because I don't know. I don't know. This is might be the most hated person. David Zaslav and David Ellison. David Zaslav was between the difference between David Zaslav and David Ellison are they both had Trump supporters. He now like to say that Ellison had to do with working with the lawsuit settlement with Donald Trump related to the 60 Minutes interview. So if you hate in this company, don't tell David Ellison it's about related to Donald Trump. Okay, so like I said, this has to change. Let's boycott Paramount and Skydance altogether because this is a new. We fell in love the entertainment companies. Like Disney would do well, even the success of the Stitch, and more recently the new Fantastic Four First Death movie over at Marvel Studios. Hey, even Amazon and as I mentioned, Amazon's NGM Studios and um, Universal Pictures and I think Sony Pictures, but yeah, he have a co-finance deal with THT Entertainment related to, with between second with 20th Century Studios and on Disney. So that's what you know. The three companies I fell in love. The Disney, 20 Amazon NGO Studios, and NBC Universal, aka Universal Pictures. So if you didn't know, I don't trust Warner Bros. Company and Paramount Skydance because the company's gone a lot of risk and debt. So please boycott Paramount and Skydance altogether. And we need to save the book without getting all of the cancellations like the Late Show with Stephen Cooper on CBS. So we respect Amazon NGM Studios, Universal Pictures, and Disney are proud to be our best companies ever. But this did not. So boycott Paramount Skydance right now, and then you give me the hashtags. Hashtag Save the Late Show, hashtag boycott Paramount, hashtag boycott Skydance, hashtag boycott Paramount Skydance, and hashtag fire David Ellison. So there we go. That's the hashtag. So please boycott Paramount and Skydance already before August 7th, which is in 2 weeks. So once again, let's do it at hashtags again. Hashtag Save the Late Show, hashtag boycott Paramount, hashtag boycott Skydance, hashtag boycott Paramount Skydance, and hashtag fire David Ellison. Spread your word, everyone. Boycott that shit. And that's pretty much it. So this is might be the longest video I ever did on this channel. This is not taking a live stream, so thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and have a great weekend, everyone. And be sure to subscribe, share, ring the notification bell, and please subscribe to all our channels and follow us on Instagram in the description below. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And I'll see you guys later with a new video. And remember, boycott Paramount Skydance. Deal with it. All right. See you later, guys, and take care.